Stop. The command echoed through the grand hallway just as Zara Okafor reached for the exit door. Before she could touch the handle, 4 suited men stepped in front of her, blocking every possible escape. No one moved. No one breathed. Then another sound followed. Heavy footsteps. Slow. Confident. Terrifying. Kang Min-jun, the most feared mafia boss in Korea, walked toward her with his hands tucked inside his pockets. His expression remained unreadable, but everyone inside the mansion lowered their heads the moment he appeared. Only Zara looked him straight in the eyes. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Before this unbelievable story begins, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. You don't want to miss what happens next. I quit. Those 2 words stunned the entire room. The bodyguards exchanged nervous glances. No one had ever spoken to Kang Min-jun like that. Min-jun stopped just a few feet away from her. What did you say? I said I quit. His jaw tightened. You don't quit. I just did. Silence swallowed the room. Everyone expected Zara to apologize. She didn't. Instead, she calmly removed the security badge hanging around her neck and placed it on the marble table beside her. I've worked for you for 3 years. I kept your secrets. I protected your reputation. I did everything you asked. But today, I'm done. One of the senior guards stepped forward. Miss Zara, please think carefully before. She raised her hand. I'm talking to your boss. The guard immediately stepped back. Min-jun stared at her for several seconds. Give me one reason. She laughed bitterly. One reason? You don't even know why I'm leaving. Then tell me. You treat people like chess pieces. You think loyalty can be bought with money. Every time someone sacrifices everything for you, you reward them with another dangerous assignment. His eyes never left hers. And I refuse to spend the rest of my life cleaning up after a mafia boss who doesn't even know how to say thank you. Gasps spread across the room. Someone actually dropped a glass. Min-jun slowly nodded. So that's what you think. It's the truth. You think leaving is that simple? I'm not asking for permission. She picked up her small handbag. I'm informing you. She walked past him. Not a single bodyguard dared stop her. Everyone waited for Min-jun's order. It never came. The massive front door closed behind Zara. For the first time in years. She was free. 3 months later. Lagos, Nigeria. Zara inhaled deeply as she arranged fresh vegetables on the small shelves inside her grocery store. The shop wasn't luxurious. It wasn't famous. But every single item inside belonged to her. No guns. No blood. No bodyguards. Just peace. A little girl walked in. Auntie Zara, she smiled warmly. Good afternoon. My mummy sent me. What do you need today? The child handed over a small list. As Zara packed everything, the little girl looked around. You always smile. Zara chuckled. Is that a bad thing? No. I like your smile. For a brief moment. She remembered who she used to be before Korea. Before Kang Min-jun. Before the endless fear. She handed over the shopping bag. Tell your mum I added some biscuits for you. The little girl squealed happily. Thank you. Moments later, Zara watched the child skip down the street. She smiled. Maybe life was finally becoming normal. Then, 3 black luxury SUVs slowly entered the neighborhood. Every conversation stopped. Market women paused. Children stopped playing football. People stared. Nobody in the community had ever seen vehicles like that. The SUVs stopped directly in front of Zara's store. Her smile disappeared. No. The first door opened. More than 10 men dressed in black stepped out. Each wore dark sunglasses. Each stood perfectly still. Then another car door opened. Expensive leather shoes touched the ground. Zara closed her eyes. She already knew. Only one person walked like that. Kang Min-jun. The neighborhood watched in complete silence as he adjusted his suit and looked directly at her. 3 months. After 3 whole months. He had found her. One elderly woman whispered. "Who is that handsome man?" Another replied. "He looks like someone from a movie." Nobody knew they were looking at one of Asia's most dangerous men. Min-jun slowly walked toward the grocery store. Every step increased Zara's heartbeat. He stopped in front of her. Neither of them spoke. Finally, he broke the silence. "I've been looking for you." She folded her arms. "You found me. Come back." Her eyes widened slightly. "What?" "I want you back." She laughed. Not because it was funny. Because she couldn't believe what she had just heard. "You crossed continents, just to say that." "Yes." "No. I wasn't asking. And I'm not returning." The bodyguards shifted uneasily. Nobody had ever rejected Kang Min-jun twice. He lowered his voice. "You belong with me. I belong to myself." His expression hardened. "You don't understand." "No. You don't understand." She stepped closer until they were standing face to face. "You came all the way to my country expecting me to abandon my new life because you suddenly miss having someone around. It's more than that." "Oh really?" "Yes." She shook her head. "I gave you 3 years. You gave me orders. You gave me danger. You gave me sleepless nights. And now you expect gratitude?" Several curious neighbors gathered nearby. Whispers spread quickly. "Who is he? Is he her husband?" "They're arguing." One elderly man walked closer. "Young man, if she says no, respect her." Every single bodyguard looked at the old man. Min-jun simply raised one finger. His men immediately relaxed. "I don't want trouble." The elderly man nodded. "Good." He walked away. Zara looked surprised. "You've changed." "No. I've learned." She stared at him. "What does that even mean?" "It means leaving you was the biggest mistake of my life." She laughed again. "Now you're telling jokes." "I'm serious." She searched his face for signs of manipulation. She found none. That scared her even more. "You've never apologized before." "I'm apologizing now." "For what?" "For taking you for granted." Her breathing slowed. Those words. She had waited years to hear them. But now, they meant almost nothing. "You should have said that before I left." "I know. It's too late." "Not for me." She shook her head. "It is for me." If you're enjoying this story so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Should Zara forgive Kang Min-jun, or should she send him back to Korea? Your answer might surprise everyone. Before either of them could speak again, one of Min-jun's bodyguards rushed forward. "Boss." His voice carried panic. Everyone turned. "What is it?" Min-jun asked. The guard lowered his voice. "We've been followed." Min-jun's eyes instantly darkened. "Who?" "The Han Syndicate." Zara froze. "They're here." The guard nodded. "They know she's in Nigeria." Min-jun immediately stepped in front of Zara. She frowned. "What are you doing?" "Protecting you." "I don't need." A loud gunshot echoed across the street. Crack. A shop window exploded into thousands of pieces. People screamed. Children ran in every direction. Another bullet struck the pavement only inches from Zara's feet. Without thinking, Min-jun grabbed her hand and pulled her behind one of the SUVs. More gunshots erupted. The peaceful neighborhood instantly transformed into chaos. Zara looked at him in disbelief. "You brought this here?" His face was filled with guilt. "No. They came because they know." He hesitated. She grabbed his jacket. "They know what?" Before he could answer, a black van sped toward them. Its side door slid open. A masked man leaned out with an assault rifle aimed directly at Zara. Min-jun's eyes widened. "Get down." The trigger was pulled. The shot rang through the street. Before the bullet could reach Zara, Kang Min-jun threw himself in front of her. The impact sent him crashing against the side of the SUV. "Boss." His security team reacted instantly, dragging both of them behind cover as terrified residents fled in every direction. Zara stared at the blood spreading across Min-jun's sleeve. "You've been hit." "It's only my arm," he said through clenched teeth. "Stay down." Another burst of gunfire shattered the remaining windows of the grocery store. The attackers weren't interested in robbing anyone. They were after Zara. One of Min-jun's men spoke into a radio. "Police have been alerted. Hold your positions. Civilians first." Min-jun grabbed his arm. "No unnecessary shooting. Get the families out." His men nodded and immediately began helping frightened children and elderly residents escape through nearby alleys. Zara looked at him in disbelief. "You told them to protect the civilians. They were never the target." She shook her head. "This is exactly why I left." "I know. You said you wanted me back. Is this the life you wanted me to return to?" His silence answered her. The attackers suddenly stopped firing. For a few seconds, the entire street became eerily quiet. Then came the sound of footsteps. A masked man walked into the middle of the road with his hands raised. "I'm only here to talk," he shouted. Min-jun narrowed his eyes. "I don't negotiate with cowards hiding behind masks." The man laughed. "You don't have a choice." He slowly removed his mask. Zara frowned. "I know you." The man's smile widened. "Of course you do." It took her only a second to remember. Years ago, while working in Korea, she had secretly helped expose an illegal human trafficking operation connected to powerful criminals. Several innocent people had escaped because of information she passed anonymously to investigators. The man pointed directly at her. "You ruined everything. I saved lives. You destroyed my empire. And I'd do it again." His smile disappeared. "I've spent 3 years looking for you." Min-jun stepped forward despite the pain in his arm. "You'll go through me first." The man laughed again. "You? The feared boss who crossed the world because a woman resigned?" Several of the attackers laughed with him. Min-jun ignored them. "This ends today." "No," the man replied. "It ends when she's dead." The words froze everyone. Zara finally understood. This had never been about Min-jun. She had been the target all along. The grocery store. The quiet neighborhood. Her new life. Everything had been under surveillance. Police sirens suddenly echoed in the distance. The attackers looked around nervously. "They're coming," one of them shouted. Their leader cursed under his breath. "This isn't over." He signaled to his men. Within seconds, they disappeared into waiting vehicles and sped away before the police arrived. The street fell silent again. Residents slowly emerged from hiding. Some comforted crying children. Others checked on injured neighbors. Paramedics arrived moments later and began treating the wounded. One medic approached Min-jun. "You need stitches." "I'm fine." "No, you're not." Zara folded her arms. "For once, listen to someone." He looked at her. "I'll listen if you come with me." She sighed. "You're impossible. And you're stubborn." A faint smile almost escaped her before she caught herself. The police interviewed everyone for hours. When it was over, an officer pulled Zara aside. "Based on what we've seen, you may be in danger." "I figured. We can arrange temporary protection." She glanced toward Min-jun, who was quietly speaking with investigators and cooperating fully. The officer followed her gaze. "Do you trust him?" She hesitated. "I trust that he'd risk his life to protect me. But I don't trust the life that follows him." That evening, after the neighborhood had begun to settle down, Zara stood outside what remained of her damaged shop. Broken glass covered the floor. Shelves had collapsed. Months of hard work lay in ruins. Min-jun walked over slowly. "I'm sorry." She didn't answer. "I should never have come without realizing they were tracking us." Still, she remained silent. "I'll pay for everything." She finally looked at him. "You still think money fixes everything?" "No." "What fixes this?" He looked around at the frightened neighbors helping each other sweep the streets. There isn't enough money in the world. For the first time since she'd met him, she saw genuine regret instead of confidence. "I can't erase what's happened," he continued. "But I can make one promise." "What promise?" "I'll make sure those responsible face justice." "Not revenge." He shook his head. "No." She studied his face carefully. Perhaps leaving had changed him more than she realized. Perhaps nearly losing her had forced him to become someone different. A week later, the police announced several arrests connected to the trafficking network that had hunted Zara for years. With witness statements, forensic evidence, and international cooperation, the organization began to collapse. Min-jun prepared to return to Korea. At the airport, he placed a small envelope in Zara's hand. "I don't expect forgiveness." She looked inside. It wasn't money. It was a resignation letter he had signed himself, stepping away from the criminal empire that had consumed his life. "I chose a different path," he said quietly. "Whether or not you ever choose to be part of my future is entirely your decision." Tears filled Zara's eyes. "You really did change." "I had to." He picked up his suitcase. "I finally understood something." "What?" "You didn't leave because you stopped caring." She nodded slowly. "I left because I wanted to survive." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then he smiled, a genuine, unguarded smile she had never seen before. "Take care of yourself, Zara Okafor. You too. Kang Min-jun." As he walked toward the departure gate, Zara realized that sometimes love isn't about holding on. Sometimes it's about becoming the kind of person the other never has to run away from. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment below. Tell us, if you were Zara, would you have given Min-jun another chance after everything that happened? Share your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next unforgettable story.